Hello everyone, this is the Patagonia Regional Times. Francesca Claverie here, board member, interviewing Eliane Rockford with her beautiful garden in Sonoyta, Arizona. Let's see Eliane, show us around.
There we go. It's a very small garden. My husband built that for me, 8 years ago, because we couldn't build anything. We couldn't use a real garden. There's all on the rocks here. It's very rocky, as you can see. Here it is. It's not very big, as you can see, but it gives a lot. I get a lot of vegetables, and so
It's
good
so
for us.
beautiful. When did you
Thank you.
start this garden?
2000, I would say 12.
Nice. Yeah, let's go inside.
Okay, would you like me to go first?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
And
All
do you propagate your own plants? Where do you get your seeds?
Oh, I get seeds, I get plants already. You know, I go to all different stores. I go to not department stores, but home improvement stores. I won't give the names because you're not supposed to. But I have like some of the plants. This have been propagating. It's got a bunch of already grasshoppers. The artichoke is a late addition. A bunch of herbs, thyme, tarragon. On the other side, I've had violets, flowers, a bunch of wonderful violets. They have a wonderful fragrance, and they're hard to get. And that came from a friend of mine here in Sonoyta, Steve Strom, actually. And peppers.
Your butterflies are lovely.
Lots of butterflies and sorrel. I had a bunch of onions here and garlic, but it's out. And I still have a bunch of green beans, all kinds. I don't know. I plant something, then next year I get something different. But it's the same green beans as far as species, but they're different different lengths. And mint or mint juleps.
Yeah.
And had potatoes, good potatoes, and they came out very good. And ordered online for the potatoes. Tomatoes that keep coming back. I started that, I don't know, 4 years ago. Every time I do something else, they keep coming back, and they're good. And the eggplants that you can see, something is chewing on them, and the hail did a little damage to that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Voilà. So it's protected, as you can see. It's from too much sun, also from the hail. That helped a little bit. And then on the side, I had to add to it because we should have made it bigger, and we didn't. And so I have arugula, I have cucumbers, strawberries on the other side, and roses, because I love roses and they don't require too much water. That's it.
What would you say is your biggest success with this garden? What has done the best out
What
of
has
everything?
done the best? Herbs do well, because I guess they do well everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. Eggplants have been, I had this is a late starter, but I've had big eggplants, really nice. It did good, and the potatoes.
Nice.
Onions, not so much. Peppers, The beans have been doing good. The peas, no. Little peas need water, and for some reason they don't do well in my garden. Some other people do better with that.
And what's your biggest limitation with this garden? What's been the biggest challenge?
What has been the biggest challenge? Oh, the watering.
Yeah.
The watering, because I have some, I use some drip, but sometimes it's not enough. Right now, it is not enough. You have to water morning and evening. Of course, with 106, it's difficult to do something. This is for the bees and the butterflies, all these little pollinators. So I've got
So sweet.
little houses for them. And so that's about it. But it does, on a small in a small area like this, it does pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. It's just for the happiness of it. You know, you're stressed out. You come here, you do your little thing, and stress is gone.
Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful garden and
Thank you.
a really efficient space. It's so
Thank you.
productive.
Well, the less you have to use your space as smartly as you can. But I make mistakes too.
Of
So
course.
I've done things that I probably shouldn't have done, but I learned from it. I like gardening. I've always liked that. I don't know, since I was a kid. And my husband laughs about it a lot. But my grandmother, my mother's mother, who was Bulgarian, had a green. We say in French, the green hand.
Mm-hmm.
Here we say green thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And anything she would plant like this would work. It would grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the same thing. And anything I plant will grow.
Oh.
It's true. I don't brag about it. I don't know why. I mean, a little something. It's just like come back and say,
No, you
gone.
can really tell. You can see that that's
It's a
true.
little. It's. I think it's a gift transmitted from
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother.
Oh,
But
that's lovely.
that's all. So
Thank you so much, Eliane.
you're
This
so
is
very
so beautiful.
welcome. You're
This
so very welcome.
lovely
I wish I
tour.
could show you the trees with a lot of fruit. Next year maybe we can do.
Welcome to the PRT Garden Tours. My name's Francesca Claverie, board member of the PRT, and today we're here with Helene Wingard. Thank you so much, Helene, for taking us around your garden. Yeah,
Of course.
thank you. Yeah, let's get started. Where would you like to start first?
Well, let's start in the herb garden.
Perfect.
I like to grow things that I eat or work with. Dry, that's one of the things. And then, of course, we always have volunteers, like flowers that aren't supposed to be here.
Oh, beautiful.
But I figured I just let them be. There was lettuce here, but that's obviously gone. It's all eaten up. And then this is the creeping thyme, which I planted a couple of plugs some years ago, because I'm making a pathway and I want to put them on the side. You can walk on it. It's, it doesn't get damaged and it smells good. And then here I have different parsleys, of course, and some, how should I say it, overripe lettuce that grew up, and I'm hoping that it blooms and then I have seeds for next year.
Nice. Do you save your seed, or where do you source your seed or starts from?
Oh, sometimes I buy them, and if they are good seeds, if they look healthy, fat, I save them and you put them in a paper bag, never plastic. And of course you write on it what it is, so you know what it is. That I can show you. I thought I was planting birdhouse seeds, which is a vine that makes those nice shapes for birdhouses, and it turns out to be watermelon. They're hanging on the fence, supported on the bottom because they're getting so big. And I don't even like watermelon. And then here we have cilantro. This I just harvested. It was this high. It is catnip. Oh, nice. And I started this bed for the Catholic Church here in Sonoyta, because they do all those fundraisers. Mm-hmm. And I used to, give it to them so that they can then make the pockets and all kinds of stuff for cats and whatever else they were selling. And then this year when I said I had it, I was told, no, they didn't need it anymore.
Oh, no.
And I cut it all down, threw it away, and I'm taking this out. I'm redoing this whole herb garden, actually, because there are herbs everywhere in the background there. I was going to do it this year, but I ran out of time.
This is so, so neat. And how long have you had this herb garden here? When did you build this?
Well, it's falling apart. About 23 years now. I think it was one of the very first things that I planted, and I had a support here, and then I had the shade cloth hanging over it, but the wood is all rotten now, so the supports had to go. And so now I have to figure out something else. But as long as the fence, you can walk on the thyme. It's no problem.
So nice. It smells
This is
so good.
oregano, of course, which I was going to cut before it went to seed, but you never have enough time in a garden.
And the pollinators love it.
Oh,
It is
yes,
beautiful
yes,
little
yes.
Guys. Would you say that's your biggest challenge with gardening is the bird attacks, or do you have other bigger
I
problems?
no, it's mostly the weather.
Yeah.
The bird attacks, if you are really fanatic about it, you could put a cage over it and all that. And I'm not. I mean, you know, they were here first.
Yeah.
But usually I plant more. I took a master gardener class when I moved here, knowing it wasn't like Holland where you put a stick in the ground and it grows.
Yeah.
That you plant 1/4 more than you need or want for the animals, deer, rabbits, whatever you want to do. Now I had 2 plants, 2 eggplants. This one gave me 4 already, and I had to pick the ones. And this one only will give me 1. And I don't expect that this is going to be doing anything because the grasshoppers are coming in.
Yeah.
This is a new bed of asparagus I just started this spring. My old bed really was sad, so I finally took it out.
Yeah, these look great.
Yeah, that's the one thing that looks good. Surprise, surprise.
And how long before you expect to harvest? A couple years on the
asparagus, it's the 2nd year. So this year is not even really the 1st year. I won't harvest next year, but the year after that I will.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I always had a lot. This was full of, always had a tomato in it, and that's what I'm going to do next year again. Because at least I have some of the, well, they're not really the cherry tomatoes. There's a different type, but at least I'm getting stuff over there. So this is my flower garden. This is what I really call my flower garden. And a lot of it I just moved it around. This is where I had zinnias. The way that little section is there, zinnias, the cereopsis, and forgot the purple. Well, whatever it's called. I had this, you know, and I always let it go wild. And it was nice, but I was tired of it. So I wanted to have a more staged garden again, you know, front low and blooming, always something blooming, always a eye catcher. And there's a climbing rose in the back. That's not Elian's. I have Elian's. 2 roses are right there. One is still blooming, the other one just finished. Actually, it has one more bud coming.
Oh yeah.
And that one is also one of her roses. 2 or 3 kind of died. You know, depends also how you take them out.
And this is also a pretty shady spot.
Oh, very
right?
shady, yeah. And because of the pecan is getting bigger and bigger, even though Cliff came by and totally pruned it,
It looks
2 years
beautiful.
ago.
Yeah, Cliff does a
But
great
if you
job.
go from the back, if you see it, it's like an umbrella. And you walk from the hot sun and you walk in here, it's like 10 degrees cooler. It's wonderful. I love this spot.
This has been so lovely. Thank you so much for your time and for showing us your beautiful, beautiful garden. You're doing so much with this space and both the shade and the sun, and yeah, these kinds of gardens are really inspiring for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here this morning. My name's Francesca Claverie with the Patagonia Regional Times, and this is Christine Aspinhill. And today we're going to tour her beautiful, beautiful garden here in Patagonia, Arizona. Thank you so much, Christine, for inviting us over. And yeah, this is already so beautiful. I'm excited to check out your garden.
Well, welcome. I cleared the paths so that at least you can walk. So this is gate designed by Joe. Metal
Beautiful,
Joe in town,
yeah.
so you might recognize that. So here it is. I let things grow that pop up. I like to just see what they are. So that's why I have all these sunflowers. And this is my sambucas, my elderberry.
Beautiful.
My squash, everybody grows squash and they say it's so easy to grow. My squash has never been very happy here. I've got one back there, see? Little
Yeah, oh yeah.
yellow. So I might just next year focus on things that just grow easily and are happy here. We'll see. Like zinnias.
Yes. Oh, you have beautiful zinnia garden.
They attract so many butterflies, and my friend brought her baby over the other day, the toddler, and he just, it was really magical.
And your little palm too. That's fun.
My daughter gave this to my husband for Christmas 2 years ago. And we're looking forward to the time when it gets tall enough to be above our window
Yeah.
so that the view of the mountains is clear again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a mix of the wild sunflowers and then the giant mammoth, which have the lighter color stem. And then I planted beans to grow up the sunflowers. I
Nice.
figured it was a natural trellis.
Yeah. Ooh, very cool.
We get more of them than we eat, of course. This is our little new baby. She's a dwarf Chinese peach. And she's happy. So we like that.
Hey, gatos. Little garden kitty. It's very cute.
Poppy.
Oh, hey, Poppy. It's really cute. Sorry, momentary kitty cat distraction.
Kitties are part of the garden. And let's see what else we have. Oh, my new favorite is this atomic grape tomato.
Oh, cool.
That's a ripe tomato.
That's
and it
really
usually
pretty.
gets like 3 or 4 different colors. So, and it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, which way should we go?
Um,
Tomatoes. I'll show you the part of the garden that's blank because one night the gate was left open and the javelina came in and ate all of our pumpkins.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You say that javelinas are your biggest stressor around here, or what's been the challenges?
I'm going to say soil chemistry,
Yeah.
followed by javelina,
Yeah.
followed by human error.
Yeah, totally.
So
Oh,
the
it's a
basils,
pretty
this is a
okra.
holy basil. And holy basils are a little bit sensitive to germinate, but once they're established, and I hope to propagate more of those and sell them at the farmer's market.
Very cool. That would be great.
Yeah. This native primrose, what is it called?
This is a Nathra alata, which is the hooker's evening primrose, is the name of it.
It's beautiful and it would love to take over my garden. And I noticed they don't transplant very well. Have you?
Really? When you like dig up sections?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can sell seed packets at the farmer's market too.
This was our first garden bed that we made when we first came here 3 years ago. This was all that was here, all that we made.
You've done an incredible job. I do like the palm. I think it's the first palm I've seen in Patagonia.
That's what happens when you go to Home Depot with your kid, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I want that. I'm going to get that for Dad. I'm like, sure.
It works. Yeah.
Dad's going to love it.
Oh, speaking of kitties. Hey, kitty, I see you over there, tiny cat. Yes, you're beautiful.
It's Poppy.
It's really cute. Very nice.
Yeah, without the woofers, holy cow. Yeah. So the first year I had woofers come, and the first year that I had woofers, they built this whole fence.
Maybe explain what a woofer is.
It's an acronym for Worldwide Organization of Organic Farms, or farmers, I don't know, something like that. And you host them, so you feed and shelter them, and then they work 4 hours a day. So it's a good way to get projects done, especially if you're a small farm.
And
like
for
we are.
people to travel for cheap, too.
And a way for people to see the world, for young people especially. This is Rainbow Hills, and we're actually going to be starting to host like a community sharing,
Very cool.
gardening classes, herb making, tincture making, yoga, meditation, all with sort of social distancing,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But yeah, we're sort of remaking and beginning that process. It's one of the reasons we moved here and got 10 acres.
Very cool. Yeah, well, this is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for showing us your garden. Yeah, this is lovely.
Thanks, Francesca, Marion.
Bye.
Bye.
And today we're out Harsha in Patagonia, Arizona. And we've stopped by to talk to Lee Rogers, who lives here down Harsha on this beautiful, what is it, Harsha Creek Road?
Harsha Creek Road. Yeah.
Harsha Creek Road. And we're going to look at his beautiful orchard and food garden today. So thank you, Lee. Thank you for having us out.
I'm glad you could make it out.
And what kind of species do you have here in the orchard?
It's really a mix of things. Right now, these are persimmons. They're an American persimmon, kind of small, not really very big, but they are very flavorful and they make the most wonderful cookies. So I'm a big fan.
When did you put the orchard in? How long has it been?
The first trees went in '93.
Nice.
It's a rare year that we get a lot of fruit, actually. The late April frosts, they're just real killers.
Yeah.
So it's really hard on things. So we usually will get some apples, some pears, jujubes, persimmons. Those are pretty reliable. Peaches, plums, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you're close by the creek here too.
Yeah,
So
not
it's-
the best place to put an orchard because it's down here in this cold air drainage. Probably a wiser choice would have been up on the hillsides and so forth, but
Yeah.
we were young and foolish then.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful though. The trees look incredible. So at least you have healthy trees, even
The
if you don't
trees are
get.
good. I think of it more as a pollinator garden, actually.
Yeah.
They bloom really big, and now the bees are all in there, and they'll set a lot of fruit, and then the late April frost comes and gets them.
Totally. Let's go check out your food garden.
Okay, let's go this way then.
There's a little fruit like that, it's got 4 or 5 pock marks all over it. What can you say? Sneaky freezes.
Beautiful.
So actually, the asparagus does pretty well. We get a lot of goodies off the asparagus in the early part of the year, and then sometimes in the monsoon, if it's a good monsoon, we'll get some more. There's 2 or 3 of them coming up in there now.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a little spiral anymore, but there's a few fruits in there, and there's a couple of them that are starting to yellow up and get to be mature more.
And your biggest issue in here was that bunny rabbit?
Yeah, bunny rabbit would come in, and it'd like to eat the tender young things and the little flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, we don't have, I can keep them out of here, but if there's a little hole someplace, then they'll sneak in,
Yeah.
and something was eating the really young fruits. I'm not sure what, but it was like they would see these little claw marks in it. So something with sharp claws. I don't know. Could have been a bunny.
Yeah. No, this is really cool. Under this mesquite tree here. It's beautiful. You have a beautiful, beautiful spot.
And hidden down underneath all that are some peanuts. You can see a few little flowers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So on the outside there's a little peanut crop, and I hope that we'll get some fruit or some out of it.
And that would be coming off in the fall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The great
Yeah,
peanut
they're a real
harvest.
long, 110-day crop or something. The first attempt, the gophers were murder. They just ate everything.
Yeah.
So I actually dug it all out and lined the bottom with chicken wire.
And that's working.
And that's working, yeah. Unless one happens to get in there, and then they can get out.
Jesus, oh God.
But no, and it every year we eat for a couple of months off of that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lee.
Well, you're
Thank you
welcome.
for your
I'm glad you
time.
came by.
Me too. This is really fun. All right, we'll hit you up for the flowers. For
Okay,
another-
May. Come back in May. We'll do flowers.
We'll do flower time when we can actually do the roses and we have time.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Lee.
You bet.
And right now we're at the Patagonia Community Gardens, and we're with Robin Coolibert, who's gonna show us a little tour of the community gardens.
Francesca and Marion.
Marion's here too. She's hiding, but she's totally here. Take us through. We can walk to your garden. We have beautiful fruit trees here. And how old is this garden now?
I think it's like 20 years.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell by the fruit trees, which is really, to me, one of the best parts of this garden. I mean, apples all over the place. This one is an Asian pear. I mean, those are really expensive at the grocery store, and they're delicious. Way over there. Look at them all. It's amazing. Yeah, I just love that.
No, it's a beautiful forest of trees.
And this is Gigi's trough. So she's home from college.
Oh, Gigi Martin.
I'm gonna say yes.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Growing tomatoes, yep.
Good work, Gigi.
This is my crazy Three Sisters garden. That's really only one sister. She grew really fast. So Three Sisters are corn, beans, and squash, right?
Yep.
So I went to Home Depot and got some organic corn seeds, and they just took off. And little did I know how intense the monsoon winds were. So they got blown down, strung them up, blown down again. But I do have some squash in here.
This is incredible. So how big is your plot?
Well, I have two plots. So this one is, I don't know, 25 foot, 20 foot long. And, here's some corn right here. See? It's actually growing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so even though it's knocked down by the winds, it's still producing.
That's so cool. You're our first corn garden.
And I have a little plank. I mean,
So explain the idea with the Three Sisters garden.
So the corn grows tall and is shallow rooted and takes up a lot of nitrogen. And the beans are deep rooted, add nitrogen and grow up around the corn. And then the squash grows in between the corn and the beans. So you create, well, at least on the East Coast, like the Haudenosaunee, the Iroquois, do mounds. So you plant the corn, then when it's like 5 inches, you plant the beans around it. And then the squash suppresses the weeds, and then the three of them are nutritionally complementary. It's just amazing. And it's throughout all of, North and South America. It's really a phenomenon, and all the mythology around it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So next year I won't get such monster corn and grow less of it and plant the beans faster. I put in the heirloom beans from the library, but they didn't have a chance.
Wow. So what kind of corn did you end up getting from Home Depot?
It's organic sweet corn. I mean,
Nice.
kind of standard, but man, it just took off. So,
Oh, that's
and then I have this
incredible.
plot over here too. I mean, it's random. I'm not a big planner, so there's kale underneath. Kale actually liked the shade of the corn because it was too hot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it grew really well. And then this one was all lettuce and spinach, a few carrots left. This was all bush beans, those are all gone. Climbing beans over there. And a few cucumbers, cilantro's going to seed.
It's so cool. Let me see you twirling that.
Like corn. I made some corn fritters the other day. Oh man, I mean that's the thing, you get free food, it's awesome.
So if I want to garden in the Patagonia Community Gardens, how would I go about doing that?
You talk to Martha, and then she gives you a little tour, and you pick a site, and you go to work. It's just like no fee.
That's awesome.
I mean, if we run out of water, we pitch in. We do work around here. It doesn't look like it right now, but we've done a lot of pruning. I mean, we pitch in, the group,
Yeah.
and then you just take care of stuff. It's awesome.
That's so cool.
I know, it's really fun. I've met some really fun people here, and this is Kyle. She actually they had to leave. She's a full-time RVer, and they were here for a long time.
With this
Retired
little
teacher.
corn patch.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, kind of too close together, but yeah. She said she just did it for mental health.
Well, they're all standing up, Robin.
It's true. They are standing up. But mine has corn.
That's true.
She did all that. And then over there is Emily, the caterer. I don't know her last name.
What would you say the biggest challenge of gardening out here is?
When the monsoons hit, you got to keep up with the weeds.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, the rain is a gift because everything just takes off. But any plant that you don't want there is a weed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Otherwise, it's a wildflower, right?
And then a big part like a community event that often funds the garden is the pie auction that they have in the
Yeah,
fall, right?
that is the big fundraiser. They raise like $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they're not having it this year
Totally.
because
Yeah.
of COVID, obviously. So unfortunately, Martha made a lot of pies from the apples in here.
Nice.
You know, so I don't know what the funding is going to do, what we're going to do this year.
Yeah. Well, it's a nonprofit, so you can donate money to the
donate money.
community garden, the Patagonia Community Garden. But yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. It's like a little green paradise in town, and there's plenty of plots available, right?
And there's tools here. You don't really,
Yeah.
and there's books. I mean, just dive in. It's fun.
And is there a little greenhouse in the corner, or is that storage?
Yeah, that's
the
a
little...
greenhouse.
Cool.
There's a storage, the stone building, and then there's a greenhouse.
Yeah, so you can even get stuff started in the greenhouse if
Yeah.
you need to. Well, very cool. Yeah, thank you for your time. Beautiful corn, beautiful garden, and this is nice to come out. And it's a beautiful cloudy day. This is great.
Yeah, come back next year. I'll have a better handle on this.
Okay, yeah, we'll hit you up, Three Sisters, next year, 2021.
Okay.
Thanks, Robin.
Sure, Francesca.